Rengar was looking at the black blade. After a few minutes, he took it. It is a dark blade, a metal capable to prevent alchemists to use magic when it is planted on their flesh, said the veteran. During the war, a great number of that blades have been created. No, the temple tried to erase their memory. Why? Said Tungal. A weapon like this could allow the total domination of the temple. Rengar looked at the captain and had an expression of disgust on his face. Then he opened his vest and showed a burn mark on his chest. Tungal was shocked. It was a mark of penance, made by the temple to the soldiers who refused to execute orders. What did you do? Said the captain. We will ask it to the Arcadian Inquisitor, said the veteran. We have another thing to do. Tungal was agreed. It was not the time to create tensions. At this moment, they heard the bells of the village. It is Trismerc, said Aedris. If it is possible, I would like to visit the priest. They heard a rattling in their back, and they saw Cyrus, one of the soldiers, pointing his crossbow on the young woman. An aberration like you have nothing to do with a priest. What do you want? To seduce him? You already did it, right? He's your pet now. Aedris had a breath of anger, left his horse, grabbed the neck of Cyrus, and lifted him on the ground. Never insult him again, she said. He is probably the closest to the ideal of Velebi. Tungal was surprised. She said the name of the god of the Great Temple. The biggest part of the population simply said, "My god." Velebi was only used by the members of the temple. Put him on the ground, said Tungal. Aedris execute herself. What do you want to see the priest? I have to bring him some news from his brother around the south. Well, I go to school the way. She returned to her horse and started to go on the way. After a little time, Tungal joined her. You lied, said the captain. You're right, said the young woman, but if I say the real reason, your soldiers will get him in trouble. The captain of the temple looked at her. My soldiers are loyal to the temple. They would not attack an honest priest. The problem is that this priest is not ordinary. The soldier asked her to say more about that. She refused, except if he talked about his childhood. Tungal accepted. In fact, he had an happy but very common life until he joined the temple, with caring parents, without financial difficulties. I don't have that chance, says the alchemist. I was just born when my parents were killed by the temple. They let me alone in the snow and the cold of the winter. And then that priest found me. He didn't see me in myself, an alchemist, but an orphan lost in the frost. He raised me, he never hid my origin, and gave me his passion for Velebi. Tungal did not know what to do. In one side, he was agree what it was in the values of his god to save children, but he can't forget that she was an alchemist, and that meant that priest saved an heretic. As a captain, he had the authority to arrest him. Even Aedris said him that it was an emergency to bring the book to the citadel. His duty wanted him to ensure that the priest was not an analytical criminal. If it was the case, he could not bring him as a prisoner, because I had to go fast. But if Trismerc didn't have prison, that meant he would have to kill the adoptive father of Aedris, and he needed her power to travel. The inquisitor was thinking about that problem when he saw the roofs of Trismerc. Him and the young woman entered in the village. Tungal think about what he had to do. In the first, look if it was possible to buy mountain equipment. Then, care for the wounded. And finally, have a look to the priest. But before, he returned to his troop to bring them to the town. The first task was solved quickly. The captain found a shop which sold furniture. He bought ropes, notched swords, hard clothes, and ice axes. The same, he asked Grangar to bring the injured to the hospice. Now he had to talk to the priest. He found them in the church. He was speaking with Aedris. The captain hid behind a pillar to listen to their discussion. It was similar to a family discussion. The inquisitor learned his name, Astimis, but nothing more interesting. He waited that the alchemist leave the building before to start to talk to the priest. "Hello, I have a question for you," said the captain. "Yes? What is the subject of your interrogation?" "I doubt the sincerity of your faith in Velebi. You have a relation with an alchemist." The old man looked at Tungal. "Well, what is the volunteer of Velebi for us?" The captain was surprised. That seemed stupid to ask to an inquisitor what was the volunteer of his god. To protect humankind and raise the hate to the comprehension of the volunteer of Velebi? "Well, and when did you do that for the last time?" said the old man. "I mean, without killing people who don't trust in Velebi, before to shoot, do you explain them his volunteer?" Tungal was unworthy. The temple was clear. The objective was to suppress all the heretics who didn't trust in Velebi. When it would be done, there will still only the people who trust in the good God, and so the world will be saved. The captain had to explain that to the priest. "Do you ever read the Velebi Glow?" The priest mentioned the book, which was the foundation of the religion of the temple. The teachers always make reference to that book, but the inquisitors didn't read it themselves. In fact, the temple made that to avoid people to misinterpret the content. The captain looked at the priest, who was handed the book. "Try to understand it by yourself, before to claim at the citadel that the old priest of Trismerc is an heretic," said the old man.